Today I'm showing you the 5 best Minecraft seeds for the 1.21 update. Tricky Trials, I believe it's called. All of the seeds are going to be down in the description below. If you want to use them, you can simply copy and paste them right into Minecraft. Anyways, as you can see the pillar over here in our world, this is going to be your spawn point. This is exactly where you are going to be spawning if you do use this seed. Starting off with seed number 1 over here, it might not look that interesting. You're on a pretty cool savanna mountain over here, but there's actually a trial chambers right below you. And I'm going to prove that there is no possible closer spawn than this to a trial chambers. As you can see, I'm standing on the spawn point right now, and if I use /locate structure trial chambers, it is 0 blocks away. The nearest trial chambers is literally beneath us. And of course, playing a 1.21 seed, it would be a crime to make this video without having a trial chambers in it. So as you can see, there is a cave that does go down here. It's a dripstone cave. I know some of you guys are a big fan of those. As you can see, it goes pretty deep, but not deep enough to take us to the deep slate level. I think it does in some places. Anyways, I will change over to spectator mode. There we go. And now that I'm in spectator mode, as you can see right below us over here, we have a trial chambers. And this is, in my opinion, really cool to look at. Underground like this, in spectator mode, you can really see what kind of a massive structure just completely underground this trial chamber is. As you can see, it is absolutely massive. We have this room with the spawners as well as some vaults and some loot chests right over here. As you can see, you can continue through to this entire thing, which is massive. It has a bunch of chests. Of course, because these are procedurally generated, some are going to be bigger than others, and I believe this is going to be one of the larger options you have. As you can see, there is a very big selection of rooms and loot that you can grab from this thing, which is very, very useful if you're just spawning in the world, of course. Here, for example, in this barrel, we have a free sharpness 2 diamond axe, which is basically literally below our spawn, and we have a vault right over here as well, for which the keys can be found in the chests that we can find throughout this trial chambers. Once again, the seeds are going to be linked down in the description below. Anyways, moving on to seed number 2, you can see it right over here. You spawn in the middle of this dark oak forest, which is really, really impressive. As you can see, it even climbs up the mountain a bit, which is really cool. We have a very rare taiga biome right up there. As you can see, we have some tall taiga trees, and overall we have some beautiful mountains in this seed. As for the 1.21 part, which is of course the trial chambers, there is one a few hundred blocks away. I think it's around 270, which of course, inside of Minecraft, if you're in survival, that'll take a minute or 2 to walk to, and if you do any caving, you'll be sure to find one. As you can see, a big taiga biome, and overall this seed just looks incredibly cool in my opinion. I mean, just look at the size of this dark oak forest, just sprawling out in front of you like this. I really love it when dark oak forests and mountains collab, so to speak. Anyways, because this is also a mountainous biome, you're bound to find a bunch of emerald ore, which is useful for trading with villagers, and a bunch of caves as well. As you can see in this specific spot, we even have a lush cave, which is something I know a lot of you really like. For the third seed today is a pretty interesting one, because you actually spawn underwater. So if you end up using this seed, make sure you don't walk away whilst you're loading up the world, because you're gonna drown. Now, apart from that being kind of odd, and also cool in my opinion, the seed is pretty cool as well. As you can see, you spawn right next to a beautiful cherry grove biome, which of course were added in the previous update in Minecraft 1.20, and in my opinion, this is probably just the best biome in the game. Apart from that, we also have this beautiful area down here with some lakes, and if I were you, I'd build my base right over here. Anyways, of course, because this is once again a mountainous biome, we have a lot of useful caves that you can explore right next to your spawn. And if you travel a little further, as you can see, our spawn is right over there. We have another cherry grove, which is absolutely massive, as well as, if you squint a little bit in the distance there, a mountaintop village, which has some really interesting yet also cool generation. Sometimes it goes kind of wrong with these, but the way that this farm and this house perfectly generated just like this makes this incredibly cool. And this is by far one of the coolest villages I've ever seen. As you can see, the mountains don't stop there too. They continue forming as well with this seed, which is really great. Overall, I just highly recommend playing with this seed. And underneath this mountain right here, yep, you guessed it, there's a trial chambers. Talking about trial chambers, you spawn right above one with seed number 4, which we're going to take a look at in a second. Anyways, for the above ground part of your spawn, as you can see, you spawn inside of a jungle biome, which also includes a jungle edge biome right there, and a bamboo forest biome too. I know that the jungle biome is one of the most loved biomes among players, but it's also a really rare one. Connecting into the jungle biome, we have another dark oak forest, which personally I love a lot. In a Minecraft world, the nearest jungle can be really far away, and nowadays bamboo is definitely one of the most useful blocks in Minecraft, as you can use it for smelting, furnace, you can use it for experience, and a bunch of stuff like that. So this is a really great spawn already, without even having looked underground. Anyways, digging straight down is pretty much immediately gonna get you to the trial chambers. I'll quickly switch over to spectator mode over here so we can see it a little better. And I've given myself night vision too. Here's the pit we ducked down from spawn. As you can see, it basically ends right in the trial chambers here, which also has a pretty convenient skeleton spawner right next to it, which is sure to get you a lot of XP, as well as bones if you turn that into a skeleton farm. Anyways, as you can see, this trial chambers is not as big as the previous one was, but it's still definitely pretty large, like all of these things are. We start off with this massive loot room over here, which, as you can see, has a bunch of these trial spawners. This one's spawning breezes, and it continues all the way through the cave. As you can see, completely in this direction, you can walk right through the entire thing right here, ending with another one of these spawner rooms right there with, I believe, 3 vaults in it, and enough chests and spawners up here to get yourself some trial keys. Also, here's your quick reminder that if you find pots like this inside of the trial chambers, they can actually contain loot. As you can see, they can contain stuff like iron, emeralds, arrows, and even diamonds. And finally, moving on to the 5th seed, I did just want to remind you guys that if you plan on using any of these seeds, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe. Anyways, here in this 5th seed, as you can see, you spawn right on top of this acacia tree, which is in this really cool mountainous biome. You're gonna take some damage getting down from this mountain unless you decide to cannonball straight into the water, which in my opinion seems like your best bet. Anyways, I really wanted to include the seed in this video because I know how much you guys love shattered taigas, I believe they're called. Anyways, as you can see, this isn't a normal one because this one is really massive. Flying in this direction, as you can see, we have a whole lot more of this biome right over there, leading into a mountainous biome, which right there does contain a trial chambers. And then continuing in this direction, we have some really cool, just perfectly flat almost area, which is really useful if you want to build big farms or a base somewhere, as well as a massive ocean, which, if you know, you know, the best place to build a mob farm is the ocean, because that way your drop rates will be the highest. Anyways, here we have another huge part of the shattered savanna, leading into, as you can see, nothing less than a jungle biome, which once again is one of the rarest biomes in the game. Of course, a quick reminder too that show coordinates is on for me, and if you ever wonder what direction exactly I'm going in a world, then you can just see that simply by looking at my coordinates. If you want to turn on your coordinates, you can do that right here in settings, as you can see. Anyways, basically, that was that for right now. All of the seeds in this video are down in the description below. You can simply copy them and then paste them right into Minecraft. For right now, though, that was that. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.